need some competition out here. Come on.
Also, 6ix9ine, man. Somebody finally put hands on this cat earlier today, coming out of a club, I think down in Miami. It was a video that went out earlier today where people or somebody punched the shit out of him in the back of his head, man. And we got a couple other things to talk about today. We'll throw some stories in there. But let's start off with the 6ix9ine, Dre. Let's just get that out the way, man. The nonsense. Because, first of all, I want to say this before I turn it over to you. This is what you kind of get. This is what you get when that energy's out there, right? Yeah. That energy where, now you're back to the agent provocateur stuff again. You're calling out Gunner, you're calling out, Dirt. You're starting to come at all these different, I don't know if it was Gunner, but somebody, one of them rappers.
42 Doug.
Yeah, 42 Doug, my bad. 42 Doug. But I say Gunner because he called Gunner a rat on DJ Academic's podcast. He's pretty much trying to say he was a rat.
Yeah.
But, you're coming at all these people. You're back to the same old taxes. I thought dude was on probation. But it's like, this is the energy that you create when you're out there and you're stirring up different things. You're coming at people, inviting people to your private part. It's the same type of energy that got you locked up before and caught up with the whole Treyway thing. But now it's like you're trying to get back into that whole thing again because, now people trying to punch you in your head. The next thing somebody gonna do is try to shoot you. And you see, when somebody's doing that, the energy is like, all right, I'm gonna go after this dude now. I'm gonna punch him. I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna do this just to get on because now it's gonna be on TMZ.
Yep.
You don't want to have that type of energy around. But if that's your gimmick, if that's the way you make money, you'll continue to do it.
Yeah, I think he sold his soul to that gimmick a long time ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? When he got the hair and he got the tattoos and he got the teeth and all that shit, he sold his soul to the 6ix9ine character, and he wasn't turning back even after being indicted and being locked up by federal authorities and being cooperative with federal authorities and coming back out and all this. Nah, he still had to run back to that character because he sold his soul to it. It's a couple layers to this, right? Let me getting hit behind the head with some sucker shit, right? And even though it was 6ix9ine and he deserved it, and you know what I'm saying, he definitely had it coming because he brings on that energy.
Right.
Somebody should have smacked him right in his face. But that should go and tell him and give him a very harsh dose of reality of it don't matter how many security guards around you. It don't matter how protected you feel. You can always get touched. Somebody won't touch you, and they don't care how sucker shit it is.
Head off? Kennedy's head got knocked off with all the security around him, didn't it?
The best.
Yeah.
The best of the best security. And took it smooth off.
Yep.
And you can be touched out here. And these gimmicks are eventually going to get the best of you. Rappers are out here dying. Rappers out here that you are mocking, that you are spitting on the graves on. Now, whether or not you feel like you justified or you right because of what was done to you or whatever the case may be, so be it. But don't think you can't get touched either. Nobody's wishing that on you, but is anybody going to be surprised if it happens? No. And seeing this was not surprising to me. Hopefully it taught him something. We know it didn't. I'm being dumb in even saying that. But it's just sucker shit and sucker people do sucker things.
Yeah, and it's like, my thing is like, no hate or nothing like that. But it's just like, you calling out all these people, but you're not built like that. Like, we clearly got to see that you're not built like that. We was having a conversation with our engineer. He's a young kid yesterday. Very talented young man. Mm-hmm. And we asked, I was like, what you think about 6ix9ine? And he kind of like, it seemed like these cats feel sorry for him. Like, he was just ended up in a bad situation. And then I posed the question, and I posed it to everybody out there as well. Do you think that 6ix9ine still would have snitched if those guys were loyal? Like, if he found out they didn't supposedly get his girl, sleep with his girl, they supposedly didn't steal millions of dollars, would he have snitched? Or was that just an excuse for him to snitch anyway? What's your thoughts on that?
Great question, first off. When you asked it, I was like, damn, we'll let ask him that one day. And even if we don't, I'd implore anybody who had to sit with him to ask him that so we can get a real justified answer, because only he could truly answer that. We don't know if we get the truth, but all we're doing is giving our opinion. And in my opinion, based off of his story, based off of how he became the 6ix9ine character, based off of the things that happened in between all that, I think that him just being a scared kid, I think, yeah, he would have told 1,000%.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got
most people
football numbers getting thrown at you. The feds are feds for a reason. They're experts at what they do, and what they do is break you the fuck down. And if you ain't built from the core, if your foundation ain't built on dealing with what's the animals inside or what's next behind those bars with the FBI, then listen, you gonna get broke.
Right.
And he was one of the people that got broke, and I think he would have got broke even if everything circulating around his girl being fucked, and him getting threats on his life and all that aside, everything cool and smooth, these brothers taking care of him $100,000 and getting caught up in the FBI situation, I think he would have told.
And then, his girl still maintains that she didn't do it, but who knows about that whole situation. I believe he would have told too. I believe he was never, ever cut out of that cloth. You know what I mean? Just because you can talk, anybody can get on there and they can talk or they can scream and yell on the camera. That doesn't mean anything as far as I'm concerned. I think he definitely would have told, and that was just being used as an excuse. Now, any man would have got mad about it. Obviously, you found out that, you would have definitely disassociated yourself. But it seems like now you're putting yourself back in the same situation, and that's paying dues for protection. I'm not sure if you grew up with these dudes. I think these dudes is Crips, and the last set of dudes was Blood. So, like, and these dudes is nuts because, like, all right, now you fucking around with a dude that got the feds watching him and shit. Like, so what's really going on here? Is this one big fed operation? Like, who's going to sit? Like, remember when Arab, like, people didn't even want to go to Arab's trial because they were scared that the feds was going to be on them. But you got people taking money from this dude to be around him and do whatever they're going to do, knowing that the feds is still watching.
Oh, yeah. That's
crazy to me, man. Like, but niggas will do anything for money. We're in that age, where it's about the clout and the money. And, if this nigga going to pay me, I'm going to protect him. Or it could be they just prop dudes and the real security is outside. The real informant, federal security is outside. These dudes are just props. I don't know. It's weird to me.
We've heard hip-hop police, and we've heard these situations going on before, and we could be looking at it right in front of our eyes. Two things we do know: he cooperated with the federal government. He got out based off of stipulations that he was supposed to follow and abide by the federal government. He ain't doing that, but that's the rules and shit he got up out of. And people will do anything for money, like Young Bull imitating Dirk. That is crazy as hell.
Your boy Perkio?
Perkio. You know what's crazy? I was naive to the fact that the name was Perkio. I'm sitting here, I'm like, this little ignorant mother. What do you think about that? First off, I don't even talk about, we can talk about whatever you want, but the whole imitating these characters, and him in particular imitating Lil Durk of all people.
I think at first I think it's whack altogether. You know what I mean? I guess this is a new thing. They call it Doppelganger or Ganger, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
It's some new thing that they got going on. You got the fake Drake out there. I think it's 100% whack. But when I seen Dirk actually embrace the dude, okay, I said that's cool.
Word.
Like he got in live with him, and if he's with it, who am I to say anything about it? But now you see, like, all right, out of all people, you picked the dude who got the most beef in the industry. Like even when they was on the live together, I watched a little bit of it, and Dirk was like, come to Miami to my show. He's like, I'm gonna need security. Dude said that right away. So it's like, he's going to the malls, people rushing him, but with the good comes the bad.
Yeah. With
a situation like this, when the good comes the bad, you don't want to be a dude that got 50, 60 guns at him. People just broke into his crib, tried to shoot him, tried to rob him. His cousins dying, people around him, Vaughn, people dropping like flies all around this dude. You want to be him? Now, it's not your fault that you look like him.
Yeah.
You look like it is what it is, but I don't know, man. The kid is young, he's innocent, you can see that. And he's a little naive, like Mock said, to the situation that he's in. You can get your head blown off for being this dude, man.
Yeah. And not for a couple grand, not for some likes on Instagram, not for some attention at the mall. All attention ain't good attention, and it may feel sweet at first, but eventually you realize it's poison. And it ain't no disrespect to Lil Durk, but he's living a lifestyle that I don't think many people would want to emulate, and I don't think that he would encourage anybody to emulate, even though his music may say otherwise. You look at this young boy, and like you said, you can obviously see he got fear in his eyes. He ain't from here.
Right.
He just nervous as
barely
hell.
Talk English.
Barely could talk English. And then he a young boy that could talk English. So it's even like, damn, you can't understand all kind of shit he got going on. You feel me? But
He'd have to put the coat on him. Like,
scared to death.
Yeah, he was sitting there like his dude sonning him. Who lets a man come up to him and put their arm? You don't know him. He got his. That's called sonning. That's like you walking to a store. Yeah. You stand outside the store and dude like hold my cigarette when I go in the store. That's like some shit like that.
Tell your child to do that. Oh, bona fide hoe. Hold my cigarette.
I actually kind of feel bad for the little kid, man. Perkio. I feel bad for him a little bit because knowing he's innocent and in this situation, and he's just trying to, support his favorite rapper and whatnot. But at what cost? Now you got this dude 6ix9ine, and it looks like you done took the 7 bands, even though the stories is conflicting. A lot of people saying you took 7 bands, disrespect Dirk. Dirk supposedly unfollowed the dude now, so now you probably fucked up the opportunity to open up with Dirk and be, I'm sure Dirk gonna break him off something for coming out there.
Yeah.
Now you fucked that up for. Your 15 seconds of fame on World Star and fucking TMZ.
7 rap.
Man.
That you probably put in the shoes and a couple t-shirts already. Gone.
That's like 2 pair of Louis shoes, a couple shirts, and a hat. You're
done. See ya. You probably got that in your closet right now. You right back to square one. You mess it up. All for some clout, man, and fame. And unfortunately, be a lesson to these young boys, man. And Perkio, that's a fucked up name, man. Change that shit.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, come on,
that's a fucked
dog.
up name, bro.
Yeah, like, come on. What are you doing, man?
Young ignorance, man.
Yeah.
Yes. We got to do better, man, but unfortunate situations like this have to happen where dudes got to get sunned and smacked around and get fair to their life, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think his life was in danger in that situation because even looking at 6ix9ine's crew, it don't look like they were really about anything too dangerous. It looked like more of a film crew than it looked anything crazy. But at the end of the day, you open, you out there, you can't get touched, and what if it's worse than 6ix9ine? What if it's somebody else really trying to set an example? It could have been way worse.